buffering a little bit. But Ariel Atkins going through drills. She's trying to. That's a good sign actually. Ariel Atkins, it says right here. Atkins going through some conditioning drills post practice. Ariel Atkins still listed day to day, so that's a good sign. Ariel Atkins on her way back. Now, as far as Angel Reese did not participate in contact practice today. She seen shooting the ball.
Chicago Sky coach Tyler Marsh has confirmed that the team is actively working to have several of Angel Reese's technical fouls rescinded due to her proximity to suspension. The forward currently sits one technical violation away from an automatic suspension, creating uncertainty around her availability for upcoming games. Recent officiating decisions regarding Reese have drawn criticism for their perceived severity. The most recent technical foul occurred during an exchange with Diamond Miller that appeared to involve standard competitive dialogue rather than conduct warranting official intervention. This pattern of questionable technical foul assessments has prompted the organization to formally challenge the league's disciplinary decisions.
Today, she seen shooting the ball, so it looks like she doing shooting drills. I don't know why it's buffering. I have no idea why it's buffering all of a sudden. But look, Angel Reese, again, she's dealing with a back injury. They don't know if she's going to play tomorrow. And if Angel Reese doesn't practice today, I don't think she's going to.
Marsh emphasized that passionate play represents an integral component of basketball entertainment and should not be artificially suppressed through excessive officiating. The coach acknowledged ongoing efforts to address these situations both during games and through subsequent appeals processes, though final determinations remain within league jurisdiction. The timing of Reese's potential suspension concerns becomes particularly significant with the upcoming matchup against Indiana Fever scheduled for Barbie night at United Center. This promotional event represents one of the season's marquee attractions, making Reese's availability crucial for fan engagement and organizational revenue.
Doesn't practice today, I don't think she's going to play. I'm pretty sure they're going to say she's questionable maybe, but if she don't practice, more times than not, when a player don't practice before the next game, that's a sign they may not play. Again, I think Chicago Sky need to rest Angel Reese till she's 100%. You're not playing for anything. There's no need to try to put it on. There's no need to rush her to get back on the court.
Caitlin Clark's indefinite absence due to injury adds another layer of complexity to the anticipated contest. Her ongoing recovery from a groin injury eliminates one of the primary storylines that typically drives viewership and attendance for Sky Fever matchups. Reese's current injury status compounds the uncertainty surrounding her participation. The forward has been managing both back and leg injuries that forced her absence from the previous game. Back injuries require particular caution due to their potential for long-term complications and the likelihood of re-aggravation if not properly healed.
And for anything, there's no need to try to put it on. There's no need to rush her to get back on the court and risk another injury, These little knick-knack injuries, sit them out. This is a time to use this. You got to use the rest of this season to evaluate your roster. Who's staying, who's going. It's all about developing the young players. Now, you still want to go out there and compete, try to win. Don't get me wrong. Same time, though, some of these players.
Medical staff and coaching personnel face difficult decisions regarding Reese's workload management. Her exceptional production has become essential for a team lacking depth and alternative scoring options. This dependency creates pressure to rush her return while simultaneously recognizing the risks associated with premature activation. Practice participation serves as a primary indicator for game availability in professional basketball. Reese's absence from contact drills during recent sessions suggests continued limitations in her physical capabilities. While she maintains shooting activities, the inability to engage in full contact preparation typically correlates with game day unavailability. The organization's injury report lists multiple key contributors as questionable or unavailable. Ariel Atkins remains day-to-day while progressing through conditioning protocols, showing positive signs of recovery through participation in post-practice drills. Michaela Onyenwar's return to practice activities indicates potential availability for upcoming contests. Chicago's injury situation reflects broader challenges facing teams heavily dependent on limited star power. The absence of multiple rotation players creates cascading effects that require remaining healthy players to assume expanded responsibilities beyond their optimal roles. Strategic considerations for the remainder of the season center on player development versus competitive pursuit. With playoff positioning becoming increasingly difficult, organizational focus may shift toward evaluating young talent and establishing foundations for future success. The contrast between public optimism and private roster management decisions reflects the complex balancing act facing professional sports organizations. Maintaining fan engagement while making practical decisions requires careful communication and strategic planning. Chicago's situation illustrates broader trends affecting teams transitioning between competitive cycles. The challenge of maintaining credibility while rebuilding requires organizational alignment and realistic expectation management from all stakeholders involved. Candace Parker recently conducted a comprehensive tier ranking of WNBA players that generated significant discussion across basketball communities. The 7-time All-Star and 2-time MVP positioned Angel Reese within the C-tier category, alongside injured rookie Cameron Brink, rather than in higher classifications reserved for established stars. Parker's methodology emphasized players' capacity to function as primary or secondary scoring options while carrying team responsibility. She acknowledged Reese's offensive rebounding ability and first-year development, but categorized her current role as specialized rather than foundational for championship-level organization. The ranking system placed Aja Wilson, Nafisa Collier, and Brianna Stewart in the elite S-tier category, recognizing their proven championship credentials and two-way impact. Wilson's combination of MVP honors, defensive player awards, and championship rings warranted the highest classification available. Caitlin Clark received A-tier placement, with Parker noting her trajectory toward elite status pending additional seasoning. Kelly Plum joined the A-tier based on championship experience and willingness to assume primary scoring responsibilities with different organizations. Sabrina Ionescu's shooting excellence and recent championship achievement also earned A-tier recognition. Parker's assessment faced immediate criticism from supporters who questioned the placement criteria and perceived disrespect toward double-double achievements. Social media responses demanded explanations for ranking Reese below players they considered less accomplished statistically. Defending her evaluation on the Good Follow podcast, Parker clarified that her analysis focused purely on basketball capabilities and leadership potential rather than personal criticism. She emphasized respect for all evaluated players while maintaining professional assessment standards based on competitive experience. Parker's credibility stems from extensive playing accomplishments and demonstrated basketball intelligence throughout her career. Her ranking priorities reflected emphasis on players who elevate teammates and impact winning beyond individual statistical accumulation. Recent performance data supports Parker's assessment methodology. During Chicago's matchup against Minnesota, Reese recorded 9 turnovers in a single contest, highlighting decision-making concerns that statistical summaries often obscure. The turnover total occurred alongside her typical double-double numbers, illustrating the disconnect between individual statistics and team success. The Minnesota game exposed fundamental weaknesses in ball handling and court vision that opposing defenses have begun targeting systematically. Teams now design specific schemes to force uncomfortable decision-making situations, knowing turnover frequency increases under defensive pressure. Analysis of Chicago's performance patterns reveals concerning correlations between Reese's playing time and team success rate. Games featuring reduced minutes for Reese often coincide with improved ball movement, better possession efficiency, and more competitive results against quality opponents. Statistical examination shows Chicago has achieved only one victory against teams of 500 over the past year, suggesting systematic issues beyond individual player performance. The team has suffered multiple 40-point defeats, with Reese playing significant roles in those contests. Advanced metrics indicate Chicago performs more effectively when distributing Reese's minutes among other personnel, allowing improved rhythm development for teammates and enhanced offensive flow. This pattern contradicts narratives about her essential value to organizational success. The turnover problems extend beyond isolated incidents. Reese's ball handling limitations become particularly pronounced when opponents apply defensive pressure, resulting in careless passes, traveling violations, and fundamental mistakes that compromise possession value. Coaching staff responses to these performance issues have emphasized positive statistical elements while minimizing turnover concerns as developmental growing pains. However, the pattern persists across multiple contests, suggesting systemic rather than temporary challenges. Comparative analysis between Reese and other forward prospects reveals significant gaps in basketball IQ applications and decision-making consistency. Elite players at her position typically demonstrate better recognition of defensive schemes and more reliable ball protection in pressure situations. The double-double achievement emphasis creates misleading impressions about overall impact when turnovers and efficiency metrics reveal contradictory performance indicators. Accumulating rebounds while simultaneously compromising possessions through careless mistakes represents net negative value in competitive environments. Team chemistry observations suggest Chicago functions more cohesively when offensive responsibilities distribute among multiple players rather than accommodating one individual's statistical pursuits. Ball movement improves when players aren't constantly adjusting to accommodate specialized rebounding sequences. Opposition scouting reports increasingly target Reese's decision-making weaknesses as exploitable